Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh, it is so good to be back. I missed you last Friday. I was in Montreal on a girls' trip, but here we are with a lot to cover today. It's a really big Friday, and I already see so many of you in the chat. Brittany's here, Pop Chat starting soon. Yes, hope everyone is doing well. Salim is here. And Savannah, thank you so much for the segue. Thank you so much to today's chat sponsor, Hootsuite. Let me go ahead and get set up here because, yes, Hootsuite has entered the chat. We've got to love it. Hootsuite has entered the chat, and we know Hootsuite as everyone's favorite platform for planning content, scheduling content. We could use it for social listening and tracking trends and engaging with and listening to your audience. So I'm so happy that they're here with us today. And if you haven't been following them on social, their account is amazing. So make sure you follow them on LinkedIn and all of the socials. And let me go ahead and get their gorgeous little logo up here. Thank you so much, Hootsuite. So as you're introducing yourself, saying hello in the chat, we've got Chris here. Hello, working from home. Awesome. Yeah, that's a great way to kick off the weekend. Work from home Fridays are the best. Indeed, they are. Let me introduce you also to Owly, Hootsuite's little logo here. They gave me full access to all the owls, and let me tell you, it's been like the best thing ever. So if you see our Hootsuite friends in the chat, make sure you say hello to the people who helped make this partnership come to life. Yes, Paige is here, Margaret and Darian. So happy you all are here. Go ahead and say hello. And I'm gonna put Owly up here so we can see him. And speaking of Darian, I need to give him some extra flowers today because Darian was the one who alerted me to this pop emergency that we have going on. And that is that Taylor Swift bought access to her masters. This is breaking news, hot off the press. So we love to see it. There's a full letter on her site. Go check it out. Paula's here. Hello. Chris, everyone, Kyle, hoot, hoot. Yes, throw us a hoot, hoot in the chat. Margaret's here. Hello. Ooh, this is a good question for the brand. Is it true the Hootsuite owl and the Duolingo owl are cousins? We need to find out. Inquiring minds want to know. So say hello, tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and what you do. But yeah, we're celebrating Taylor Swift today. What an awesome day, and really cool that she knew Pop Chat was happening today and that we had to announce it beforehand. So we have a few LinkedIn users here. I don't know why this happens, but there's some kind of setting on your profile where I can't see who you are. So please let us know. Paige is joining us from Vancouver. We have Danielle from Orlando, which I call the boy band capital of the world, the birthplace of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Great place to live. Paige cannot confirm nor deny that the Hootsuite owl and the Duolingo owl are cousins. Pleading the fifth. So go ahead and say hello. But if you're new here, I'm Brienne. I am the host of this chat. Pop Chat has been going on for 5 years. And a little bit of background on me. I am a marketer and also a pop culture fangirl. And I was looking for a chat where we could discuss both of those things because things in pop culture like music and sports and movies and TV shows, all of those things need marketing too. So there's so much we can learn from them in our industry. Oh, we've got Vancouver fans. I had a great time in Montreal, by the way. Opposite side of the country, but Rapali's here from Newport Beach. Yes, happy Taylor Swift announcement day. Jenny's here. Hello from Greenville. And Allison from Cleveland, a content marketer and journalist for water, horticulture, and other B2B industries. So happy you're here. So if this is your first time at Pop Chat, let me give it to you in a nutshell. We're here every Friday. It is a place for marketers to come chat about trending topics, pop culture, and it's a place for community and connection. We have merch. We've had happy hours. We are now a live stream. It started as a Twitter chat. So happy to see your faces. Rachel's here from Massachusetts, marketing and PR. Chris from Jacksonville, sponsorships and partnerships for Everbank. And Savannah, one of my true favorite follows on LinkedIn. She's here from Indiana. So the way this works, we don't have a lot of rules here. First of all, just be you, no matter what your experience is in marketing, whether you're currently employed, if you're actively seeking employment, if you just like pop culture and want to come chat about Taylor Swift, we're going to do that too. So be you. There's no one authority here. All are welcome. So share and reply, connect with others, and just have fun. That's what we're here for. So Hootsuite actually reminded me, they did a post yesterday about tips for self-care and dealing with burnout as we wrap up Mental Health Awareness Month. Can't believe May has just flown by. So I'm curious, what is something you do for self-care? Let us know in the chat. And maybe this is a reflection point where you're realizing you're not doing enough for self-care. So let's get on that. Tony's here. Oh no, is everyone still seeing the event will start soon page? Let me know. I hope you all are still seeing my slides. Hopefully that's a little glitch. Please let me know in the comments. Okay, good. Brittany said no. So Chris, try leaving and coming back in. So what is something you do for self-care? I would say one of my favorite things, I love to drive with the windows down and blasting some music, which I haven't gotten to really do as much over the past year since becoming a mom. Now I'm playing a lot of kiddie music, but but it just puts me in a good mood. I think it's a form of self-care. Definitely music is something that fuels my soul. Eating hamburger helper in a Snuggie, that sounds like the ideal Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, every night. Hamburger helper in a Snuggie. Brianna is truly our hamburger helper influencer queen. Getting my nails done. Oh my God, I feel reborn after that. Painting, reading by the pool on a sunny day. Amazing. 5 a.m. morning workouts. LinkedIn user, show yourself. I need to know who is this amazing because I aspire to be like you. Salim says, I've been taking my camera and telephoto lens and taking pictures of birds and animals in parks. That is amazing. I need to do more photography. Cooking great food and journaling, absolutely. Jenny, setting boundaries, alone time, walking my dog. Yes, going for a walk without your phone too. That's always helpful. Gym time is my me time. Savannah, I know you do like to post from the gym also though. So it's probably where you get your best ideas for your posts. That tracks. Tony says getting a massage or going to a deprivation tank. You know, I've never done one of those. My old job used to have one in kind of like our little employee, hangout space, and I never did it. I was like, oh, I'm too busy to do that. Oh, how I wish I took advantage of it. Rachel loves to craft and listen to a good book. Oh, do you do that at the same time? Helps me slow down and be creative. I don't do it as often as I should, though. Well, the weekend is upon us. Paula says morning workouts and reading. Lathan loves to cook. Kyle, new development. I removed all social from my phone, deleted my Twitter account, Facebook, and have feed blockers at timeout after 30 minutes on desktop. Getting my real life back has never felt so good. Yes, a little disconnection. I don't have Instagram on my phone anymore, and that's been a big step. Alone time with a good book or music. Danielle, we know what music you're listening to as a fellow Backstreet Boys superfan. Jigsaw puzzles. I need to do more of those. Ashley, yay! So happy you made it. We'll get you the tutorial on how to fix that. Miniature models. Ooh, of what, Allison? That's really cool. Doing nothing. This is harder than it sounds. Just get outside and enjoy the beautiful fresh air and Florida sun for 15-20 minutes, and it feels so good. I love it. Pat Timmons. Yay, Pat Timmons launched a new brand. so excited for him. Pat, please announce all those details and share it with us here. Yes, lots of readers, lots of music listeners, lots of pop culture fans. So let's get into some pop culture history for today, starting with some hashtag holidays you should know about. This week on Tuesday was World Marketing Day. So happy belated World Marketing Day, my fellow marketers. Oh, Justin, this is really cool. Watching birds go crazy at my bird feeder. I need to get one of those with the camera. So cool. Um, and today is National Creativity Day. So go ahead and do something creative, whether it is crafting or, finding some sort of fresh air with a book. Books spark your creativity. I love all the things. So celebrate that today. And then tomorrow is Web Designer Day. So if we have any web designers here, please let us know in the chat. But tomorrow is for you. So cheers to that. Yes, Pat launched the brand kitchen. I love all the puns. Let him cook. He's got some really great things that he's cooking up. So mini greenhouses, little libraries, a tiny cafe. Allison, we need more pictures of this stuff on my feed. One other thing I want to point out about our hashtag holidays that we all know and love is that Hootsuite has them outlined in their content planner and scheduler. So they're all here and they help spark ideas for these trending holidays. Apparently Sunday was National Wine Day. Let me know if you celebrated that. But they're just always keeping us in the loop, keeping us one step ahead when it comes to content creation. So that's one more thing to love about Hootsuite. Going to finish my painting today. Awesome. Please. I want to see a picture of it, Amrapali. Little libraries are my fave. They're so cute. We have one literally right outside our community, and it's been great for kids' books too. Awesome. Yes, Ashley's here. Sorry that's happening, Ashley. Okay, any Stranger Things fans? This is a pop culture blind spot for me. So this is for you. If you are a Stranger Things fan, back in 2022, we're celebrating the anniversary of when the 1985 song "Running Up That Hill" found some resurgence thanks to a scene in Stranger Things, and it took over TikTok. It became this massive trend, and it charted again. It charted to number 8 on the Hot 100, and previously in the 80s it peaked at number 30. So nearly 40 years later the song recharted thanks to the power of TikTok, and we've seen this happen with a lot of songs that are nostalgic and making a comeback thanks to TikTok. So this was a really cool moment. The song is by Kate Bush, and I even pulled up this tweet where she just talked about how awesome this is to experience this new lease of life on the song, and especially for young fans to be exposed to new music from before they were even born, which is really cool. So you might want to play Running Up That Hill today to celebrate. And yeah, I didn't know Stranger Things, it's a horror show. I thought it was more like sci-fi, but my research was leaning toward horror. Very interesting. Okay, so let's get into some trending topics for the week. Who here is obsessed with Sailing with Phoenix besides my husband? My husband has been so influenced by Sailing with Phoenix that he has signed up for sailing lessons. So if you're not familiar with Sailing with Phoenix, it is this account run by Oliver Widger on Instagram. He quit his corporate job and decided to buy a sailboat and sail to Hawaii from Oregon by himself with his cat. And he documented the whole thing. It took him about a month, but he made it just this week. And in this really interesting brand, I don't want to call it a stunt, but Elf Cosmetics airlifted and airdropped some sunscreen and snacks, and also some letters from kids who are fans and have been following his journey. And yeah, he like scooped it up out of the middle of the ocean, and he has amassed nearly 2 million followers on Instagram, including some celebrities, and the governor of Hawaii like showed up as he was arriving. Yeah, Paige, it has been going on. My husband has been trying to get me into this for weeks, and especially because you can't really see it here, but he's wearing a Britney Spears shirt in most of his videos, and he's like, honey, like, look, you have to watch this. He's even wearing a Britney Spears shirt. You're gonna love this. So yeah, we've got some Stranger Things fans. Rachel says TV shows need to get faster at producing seasons. Stranger Things is like 11 years old and only has a small handful of seasons. Okay, I can attest to this, Rachel, because when I pulled up those Stranger Things tweets, I manually went back to 2022 in the tweets. And yeah, it did seem like a lot of time had passed. Oh, sorry, Brianna. This was coming up late, but greetings from North Carolina. Salim said, if I quit my job, all I can buy is a trailer. Let's start saving. Let's get a sailboat. Elf just has all the resources and actually uses them to execute cool ideas. I love Elf. Honestly, this is so cute. Yeah, and I heard he didn't have sunscreen. So that sounds like an emergency to me to get him some sunscreen. So Oliver was quoted in People, and he said, receiving the Elf care package in the middle of the ocean was intense. It was cool. It wasn't just about snacks and supplies. It was a powerful reminder that people were watching, believing in me, and cheering me on. That kind of support, especially from a brand that celebrates bold moves, reminded me I wasn't alone on this journey. Oh yeah, Emma's in Hawaii. Emma knows firsthand. He pulled into the harbor in my neighborhood. Everyone was so excited for him. Emma, I need to know now what? What's he up to now? I need to go back and follow. Yes, we're going to talk about this too, Jenny. What a week for Elf. So my question for you related to this, because Oliver says, it was a reminder that people were watching and believing in me and cheering him on. First question today, Pop Chat folks. What are some ways brands can help their audience feel seen? What are some ways brands can help their audience feel seen? I am curious. So let me know in the chat. I'm going to reconfigure this a little bit here. Let's move some things around so you could see me. There we go. So I actually saw an interesting take. There was a lot of people on LinkedIn talking about Elf doing this, and I forgot who said it, but I saw one person had an interesting point that they kind of maybe stole his thunder a little bit, and I don't know, kind of stole from his moment. But what do you think? What are some ways brands can help their audience feel seen? Savannah says not him entering his cosmetics era. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. They sent him like some lotion. Yeah, definitely some sunscreen. Yes, Brittany's here. I'm getting a few of these delayed. So sorry. But yes, Brittany is a strategist who builds tools and frameworks to help people finally see movement in their work and life. Love long showers. That is great for self-care. Listening to music. Love it. So happy you're here, Brittany. So how are brands helping their audience feel seen? Lathan, you're already bringing up the great topics here. Social listening is important. I have told multiple clients that it is good to have a target market, but you also have to know who really engages with your brand and steer into the skid of public perception. Yes, perception is reality when it comes to marketing. So I'm going to reconfigure this here while you all are sharing your thoughts. Let's put Owly back up here. Let's do the blue one. Why not? How else? Social listening. And yes, Hootsuite is great for social listening. So I'm glad you brought this up. Oh my gosh. Social listening, that's the theme. For starters, they need a team dedicated to social listening. Yes. And how about a tool that will help that team? Sharing UGC with permission, sharing and creating a new product that came from audience suggestions. Hold these thoughts on social listening, because Paige and the Hootsuite team and I have a question on the power of social listening, and I want to hear your personal experiences with it. Fix the customer experience. A lot of brand loyalty comes from when the brand can remedy your situation quickly without forcing you through hoops. Yes, interesting, Salim. Paige says, good question. One thing I like to do is looking at our audience's pain points and addressing them firsthand, really understanding what they need. Social listening can really help with this. Yeah, it's funny. It's like the answers to all of your marketing and the content you need to create are right there if you listen and just hear what your audience is going through and what their pain points are, and then build content that addresses those things. The answers are right there. We don't have to make up our content out of thin air. Let's back into it and guide it with content. So Danny's here. He says the easy thing is replying to comments and stories. Yes. Don't you just love when the brand replies to you? Extra points if you're asking for a testimonial or story. Yeah. And I think brands hesitate to ask for testimonials, but a lot of times it feels nice to feel seen and acknowledged and like a brand wants to feature you. So absolutely. Emma feels a little weird about the elf drop out in Hawaii. So creative, but it didn't sound like he knew it was coming, so he unwittingly became an ad or at least a part of a stunt without agreeing to it. Interesting. Yeah, I can kind of see two sides of it. Rachel says, I think it's clear when a brand cares about building a relationship with their audience versus just selling to them. And that is where ideas come from that help your audience feel seen. Yes, we're all about relationships. It's not just selling. Yeah, interesting point. Be responsive. Take action with feedback. Yeah, I think it's not enough just to do some social listening. You have to act on it. So that is an amazing point, Jenny. Yes, Jenny. Really just being responsive and listening to what's needed. Absolutely. So keep sounding off on this, but yes, big week for Elf. They just purchased Rhode, which is Hailey Bieber's cosmetic line that she started in 2022, and it sold for $1 billion. So lots of billion-dollar celebrity-owned cosmetics brands to go around between Kylie Jenner and Selena's Rare Beauty, all the things. Kyle says, like, imagine creating content based on what your audience is actually telling you they want and need instead of what you think is cool. What a concept. Yeah, the answers are right in front of us. I think making testimonials is an easy and desirable action that can make people feel heard, especially when you're sharing and engaging with them. Absolutely. Kenyatta's here. I know you've joined on Twitter, and I'm so happy to see you on the LinkedIn side. Big brain. Be sure to follow Kenyatta. I love his posts. He always says really profound things. He says, something I love is when a brand engages in the same behaviors that the audience does within reason. It sounds obvious, but something that we overlook is how much mirroring brings shared identity. I like that, kind of finding common ground with your audience. Petronella, I see it as a great way to reach the male audience and talk about sunscreen to them indirectly by taking action. Yes, men, we need to get you some sunscreen. You need cosmetics too. We're all about skincare. It's universal. So great point, Petronella. And I thought it was interesting because it's like, yeah, it seems like Oliver isn't Elf's, main target audience, but this is still working. So interesting point. Okay, one more thing to talk about. Let's also address the AMAs, which happened on Monday night. Jennifer Lopez hosted them, and there were some mixed reviews. A lot of celebrities weren't there. J-Lo, I think, crushed it. I know she's kind of had a rough year. And after she hosted, she actually announced a residency in Las Vegas. So I hope that goes well. This might be Ashley or Pat. Mirroring is empathy in action. I love that. Teodora, people feel seen when brands take the time to look at them and listen to their stories, celebrate them, and support their efforts with care and empathy. In this case, they sent a self-care pack. Sure, there was an afterthought there, but it was primarily a nice gesture. I think it's cool and authentic and genuine. Yeah, and I was talking to my husband about it, and he said it didn't feel like they kind of hijacked his moment, because they also sent him those letters, handwritten notes from kids and fans. So it was really great. Danny and Kyle on the same team here. Sunscreen is very important. Okay, so this is really cool. Hootsuite, the team at Hootsuite did some social listening data and pulled this for us regarding the American Music Awards. And we got to see what the trending hashtags were, how many mentions we saw on social, as well as the overall sentiment. You can see about 60% positive, 7.1% negative, and 33.7% neutral. And the age gap over here, I'm 35. I'm in this low bracket. Maybe my time watching the AMAs, maybe I'm aging out of it. We'll see. But J-Lo was up there. Gwen Stefani was there. You know, it's our era still. So let's look at the top hashtags. AMAs, obviously. But this was interesting, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Himin, he's a K-pop star. He unfortunately didn't win, but his fans showed up. The K-pop army always does. They showed up saying he deserves AMAs. And then also Taylor Swift was trending because everyone thought she was going to announce Reputation, Taylor's version, which did not happen. She also shared an update on that album today. But I just thought this was so interesting that Himin's fans just got him trending for not winning. Like, that's incredible. That says a lot. And to quote one of their fans, Himin didn't take home the American Music Award for favorite K-pop artist. And although we're sad, this is far from defeat. It's a testament to our fandom's resilience, passion, and unbreakable spirit. So the army came together and got him trending. I am curious, what fandoms do you feel most connected to, and how do you participate online? I have friends even in this chat that I know through the Backstreet Boys fandoms that I'm in. There's a site called BSB Fangirls run by my friend Kara that I love, and just following them. There's Reddit threads, there's the fan club, and there's circle community, Facebook groups that I'm in. So tell me, who, or I should say, what fandoms are you into? And how do you participate and engage with those fandoms online and on social media? Cassandra's here. Yes, rip our chances of Reputation, Taylor's version. Yeah, so while you guys are thinking, I will update you in case you didn't hear. But Taylor Swift, she has said she hasn't even recorded a quarter of Reputation TV, or Taylor's version. And she said there may be a moment in time where this can have its moment, but yeah. Aw, Danny, you're in the Pop Chat fandom? That totally. Oh, you guys, you're so sweet. I didn't really consider you as fans. You're more just, my friends, my internet friends. But, you could be my fans if you want to. That's that's really nice. Salim, specific story-based video game communities are where I find myself, mostly Reddit lurking. Ooh, Salim, I'm curious if you're doing anything on Twitch, considering video games and gaming. And that's kind of my first thought when I hear gaming is Twitch. So yeah, the BTS army, the K-pop army. Yes. So what fandoms are you in, and how do you participate? Any other musicians, movies, TV shows? Oh, this is a good one, Cassandra. Internet friends. Yes, love you guys. Book Talk is one of my favorite little communities. I'm a lurker and commentator, but I enjoy it. Yeah, that's, a lurker and commentator is okay because you're probably still also taking action and reading some of the books you find. So you're actively participating. Paige is also in the Book Talk corners. Love that for you. Are forums still a thing? I used to browse individual pop stars forums as a preteen and teen. Oh, this is a good time for me to tell you guys about Chalant. If any of you know Krista Doyle on LinkedIn, she just launched kind of a social media website for fandom communities. So I like engaging with food and beverage brands. So that is my fandom. Yes, Amarpali, I know you are deep in that industry. Love it. Formula One, though more with a small group of friends and family. I love that. It's good to kind of have those smaller things that you enjoy with people you know. Lots of plans that I haven't moved on. Tell me more. But yeah, our forum's still a thing. I also wonder, where are all the chat rooms? I miss live chat rooms. Maybe this is it. I miss live chat rooms and I'm kind of hosting one. I guess that makes a lot of sense. Paige says, also weirdly enough, I'm still obsessed with the Hunger Games stories. Love that for you. Love that. Not weird. Savannah says sports fandoms mostly. I'm an OKC Thunder and Indiana Fever fan. Ironic, I know. I follow them on socials, but primarily just chit chat with other fans and opponents on Threads. Actually, ooh, so is there a little smack talk happening on Threads? Yay, Danielle, you just joined Shalon. Did you hear about it from me in my newsletter? Maybe that would make me really happy. Yeah, share your book recs. Major League Soccer. Ooh, actually, tell me what's your favorite team? Discord. Yes, that's where chat. Yeah, good call. Do we need a pop chat Discord? I've thought about it. Anything Bravo, reality TV. Yes, big fan. I love a little, brain rot reality TV. That's really my niche. Formula One movie coming out. The title escapes me. Yes, please chat. Chat amongst yourselves if you find other fans of your thing in here. Kenyatta says, definitely a cinephile and definitely spend too much time going hard in Twitter beefs and Reddit threads for the ones I have the utmost respect for. What else is Twitter for, really? All American Rejects Reddit and Discord. Discord, I've got to get in. I've got to find some Discords that I love. Join Shalon. Yay! Awesome. Oh, there you go. FC Cincinnati. We love Cincinnati. Travel blogs on Pinterest. Ooh, I do love a good Pinterest rabbit hole. Sports channels on Instagram and TikTok. I'm so bad at keeping up with the Discords I'm in. I know it's one more platform. But yes, please tell me if you are craving an additional place to connect with Pop Chat friends besides here every Friday. I thought about a LinkedIn group, a Facebook group. I don't know, but also try not to bite off more than I can chew. I feel like we have a good time here. So many. Yeah, love all the book talk chatter as well. Okay, so going back to the social listening report that Hootsuite pulled, I do have a question about social listening coming up. But let's talk about the power of social listening straight from Hootsuite and their website. They said social listening is not just about tracking likes or retweets. Smart marketers use it to understand customer needs. Yes, you all talked about this. Spot industry trends and boost brand awareness. Think of it as eavesdropping, the ethical kind, to uncover invaluable insights that become the basis of an effective customer-focused marketing strategy. So I'm curious, this one you have to think about a bit, maybe think of some specific examples, but what's one thing you learned from social listening that influenced your content strategy? What's one thing you learned from social listening that influenced your content strategy? So an insight from a customer, maybe there was a question that they had or a frequently asked question that you said, we need to address this. Or you learned about a customer behavior that then sparked an idea. I'll let you guys think on this for a second while I read through these. Ooh, Discords for podcasts. Interesting. Yeah, I can't get into the Discord thing. Might have to try it again. And I like Slack better. I just like the interface better, but whoa, Danny, you are on to something here. The Hootsuite team, if you're listening, might need to use this and update that blog post if Danny's cool with it. Smarketers. Did we just come up with the name of our Facebook group or Discord or wherever we're going? Yeah. So what's one thing you learned from social listening that influenced your content strategy? I will say one of my marketing roles was at the corporate office for Orange Theory. If you've heard of them, they're a fitness concept with locations all over the world. And we would use social listening all the time to one, to really use UGC, because in the corporate office, we're kind of in this bubble, but all the action is happening at the studios. So we would hear member stories that were just so inspiring. Their success stories, they were so profound, and we would kind of hear about them and hear them post about them, but then we would go and pursue that story further and fly out to that member studio and make these really great video packages, doing storytelling about that member and their triumph. So I used to love doing that. Amrapali said, so not content strategy since I work more in operations, but we have created new experiences based on what they have shared. Anytime we get good feedback on an experience, try to do it again. We have had success with a few classes and wine dinners at the hotel and club. Yeah, Amrapali. And I think this even underscores the role of a social media manager even more. Um, because you're listening, because you're on the front lines of what people are saying and perceiving about your brand, you can report that to operations and say, hey, people are loving this. They're talking about it on social. Let's do it again, or let's tweak it this way. So, yeah, it can extend beyond just content. I love that. Lathan says, when I worked for a CPG brand, we saw people sharing the unique ways they use the product that other than its intended use. And I had us push to start speaking to that in our messaging. You know what this reminds me of is Pedialyte. They were listening and realizing that it was not just kids using Pedialyte. They really leaned into the culture of being kind of the hangover cure. They repackaged and sort of rebranded a bit. Salim says, back when I was marketing for a building materials brand, we thought we were number 2 in the market, but quickly discovered that we were deal breakers due to our technology that did not align with building codes. We built a campaign around educating about this gap. Oh, that's such a good insight. Kyle says, social listening allows you to create multiple cohorts of people and make more content. Content for all is content for no one. Yeah, it allows you to get really specific on who your people are, and it gives you those insights. And yeah, again, more content. The answers are right there, what people want to see and hear. Brittany says, for me, I learned that my content needed to be more specific and less broad. Wanting to help everyone can result in helping no one type of thing. Yeah, so kind of what Kyle is saying, same line of thinking. Cassandra, I've used social listening at a past company where it helped us realize that there was a disconnect in our customer care process that was easily fixed with a small tweak and helped our net promoter score. Love it. Love it. Yes, educating this gap. We love it, Salim. Turning insights into action. Do I need my little applause sound effect? I'm going to pull that up. But Paige says, in terms of content strategy, it's so good to be able to see what people are saying about your brand and product and how you can address these in different content channels. If you're seeing common concerns or questions, you can sprinkle the answers and fixes in your content. Yes. And Paige knows this, but also one of the best things you can do is listen to what those questions are and then make an FAQ page on your website. That is something you can constantly direct people to. It's a resource that they could search and find before having to turn to social media, being frustrated that they can't figure out the answer. Like, that is something you can consistently update and be the gift that keeps on giving. I also like using it for a vibe check to see what topics have a positive and negative sentiment and if we should lean into the conversation or stay away from it. Yes, and Hootsuite definitely helps with that, gives you those signals so you can avoid a misstep. So, yes, using our customers' language. I love how all of you had, such specific examples from your experience. So, thank you so much. Great input here. Keep sharing if you have thoughts on social listening and how it's helped you in your content strategy. But otherwise, let's shift gears. Hot off the press, any Jonas Brothers fans? I know Kyle is because he proposed at a Jonas Brothers concert. Really cool story. But they have announced a new album and also a new tour. I feel like they're always on tour. And my question for you today isn't about this specifically, but I did read an article with Kevin Jonas, where he was talking about going to therapy and the emotional roller coasters of being on tour and kind of having that high, and then it's over, and then you're flying all over and you're burnt out and you're exhausted, and then you're trying to get home and your flight's delayed. And it's just like, it takes this toll on you. Big fans. Ooh, this is good too, Theodora. So, and then he started going to therapy because he realized he was taking some of those emotions home with him. And it got to the point where his wife was like, "Are you okay? Like, what's eating you?" So my question for you, as marketers, as creators, social media managers, people who work in PR, let's get real for a second. What work pressures do you feel like you take home with you? And do you feel like you're always on? What is part of your work that you kind of feel like stays with you or keeps you up at night or lingers, um, with what you do? Let me know. But yes, lots of Jonas Brothers fans. I feel like I just saw them on tour, but I guess it wasn't that recent. I saw them in 2023, and then I think they've come to my city like 2 times since then, and I need to go back. So, let's get real, especially in the spirit of Mental Health Awareness Month. What work pressures do you take home with you? What's kind of keeping you up at night in your role? Paige dreams about social media. Yes, I hope that's kind of social listening as well. You get your best content ideas, in your dreams. Hopefully it's not keeping you up at night. Hopefully you're having very sweet, sweet dreams of social media. But is there something that just you kind of can't shake about your work, or something that's you have a hard time with, a pressure that you feel? For me, I feel a constant pressure to be consistent. You have to show up to stay relevant. I especially felt this pressure when I paused this chat for like 9 months or so to have a baby. Pressure to be creative all the time when some days you just have no ideas. Um, Lathan says, I hate having projects in progress that I cannot make an update to until other things happen. In reality, I know I'm not saving the world, but deadlines can make things seem more vital than they are. Yes, and trying to meet that when you're waiting on things, yeah, it can be tough. Rachel says, I feel like I'm always somewhat thinking about work. I just had a work dream last night about explaining the benefit of brand awareness across the full marketing funnel. Everyone's dreaming about work. Kyle says, Paige, I have woken up out of a dead sleep with ideas on how to write them down before I could go back to sleep. See, that is very wise, because I will tell myself that I will remember that idea, whether it's something that comes to me when I'm falling asleep or if it comes to me in a dream, but I don't write it down. I'm like, I'll remember it in the morning. KPIs keep Cassandra up at night. Yeah, and kind of those expectations to always perform better than the last month and to grow. Salim says, working remotely from home, it's hard to turn that switch off, and it ends up consuming my evening, even if I'm watching TV or playing a game, mostly finding ways I can push our strategic narrative in an industry that is pulling in the opposite direction. Yeah, I mean, it's like physically hard to disconnect from work when you're working at home. And even your space, like what might have been like your safe space that was just for gaming or just for relaxation, suddenly becomes your office. And I really loved my office, but there was some contract work that I did that kept me very busy and a little bit stressed. And I remember when I would finish that project every day and those hours with that client, I would just be like, I need to get out of this room. I need to get out of here. And I loved this office that I created, and it just didn't really feel like that little sanctuary anymore. I think this is Ashley. I used to more so than I do now. That's growth. Huge wake up call when I had to solo parent for the better part of the last few years with my husband being gone, Army wife. Made a huge career shift, and now what lingers is being on all the time, even when I'm solo. Well, you're managing it. We are here for you. And yeah, solo parenting, that'll be a wake-up call for sure. Danny, wow, so many great comments here. Danny says, my mental health journey is well documented. In recent years, I've worked very, very hard to develop positive habits that allow myself to step away to the best of my ability from work and focus on being a great husband and father. Where are my applause? I wish I could like have my applause up at the same time while I'm reading your comments. But let's do that. Let's do some applause. You're all doing great. You're all doing great. I have a notebook next to my bed if I wake up with a good mid-sleep idea. So many of these, I don't know if I could read them all. We've got to get moving here. I've been in always on cultures before and they suck. This last week I was having its finals and I didn't study. School nightmares, guilty, because I was working on a long-term project. It was actually super fun and challenging, but man, it was hard not to get back there. Been reading Getting Things Done, and that is helping so much to get things out of my head. Thank you for the rec. So many great comments here. Call offs as we get busy, team members calling off. Oh, yes, that will stress you out. Kenyatta feels always on. I go out to even get coffee and would see an interaction between others, and my mind starts running again. Yeah, maybe it's a good thing that we're always feeling creative. Need to get out of this room feeling working from home. Yep. Yep. Always on, Brittany says, but that's because I have my work, and then my personal work. Only so much time in the day. Well, speaking of that, thank you all so much for spending some of your time with me today. Keep chiming in on this. Go to the gym on my lunch break. That is a hack. I love that. So I have a new little segment here. It's called Wait, What? Wait, what? Just want to update everyone. Did we hear about the Dr. Squatch and Sydney Sweeney campaign? So a few months ago, back in October, they launched this campaign with her. It's a men's soap company. And people were commenting saying how much for the bathwater. They were willing to buy the bathwater, kind of gross, a little perverted. And Dr. Squatch leaned into it. And now they're selling soap bars infused with Sydney Sweeney's actual bathwater. So take with that information what you will. There's a ton of press about this. I've seen this on my timeline a ton. And I guess that's just proof that sometimes the craziest, most ridiculous, what the heck ideas get the most attention, for better or for worse. So I don't have a question on this, but I had to talk about it. And Dr. Squatch is doing a giveaway for it. So if you want to enter, go ahead. But instead, enter this giveaway, our Hootsuite giveaway, what you all have been waiting for. Hootsuite is going to be giving away 1 year of their advanced plan, which is valued at $249 a month for 12 months. Do that math. But one lucky person here is going to win it. And we're going to announce it sometime after the chat is over. And some of you have already kind of entered because it's the prompt I shared yesterday. Go ahead and change one word in a movie title to make it about social media. You can swap a word, you can add a word, anything to kind of reimagine a movie and make it about social media. But yeah, what the heck? People are weird. Oh gosh, fried my last brain cell for the day. Oh, Kenyatta, I'm getting some of these delayed, but yes, more on social listening helps me as a photographer to build mood boards and concepts. Love it. What people are actually interested. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So the team at Hootsuite is they're going to pick their favorite submission. No, it's not too late. Do this right now. I want to hear your movie titles. Go ahead and comment with them. I will kick things off. And some of you yesterday when I shared this started making AI movie posters about this, which I thought was so creative. You guys are so funny. So enter now, enter in the chat like Paige just did. An SMM is born. Remember the hashtags. That's a good one. Saving private media. This is Ashley. This will show up in the actual comment. Your name will be there. The last tweet. Oh my gosh, rest in peace. Yes. No, Savannah, you can just put it right here in the chat. And these count too. We're going to be looking at all the comments. So put it here or put it in the post, wherever. Last tango in TikTok. I'm going to kick you off also and show you the one that I came up with. And I had ChatGPT make me a movie poster. It's pretty terrifying. But my submission is Meme Girls. Meme Girls. We've got the crying Jordan meme. We've got Grumpy Cat. I can't really pinpoint the other two, but they look familiar. The Lord of the Reels. One influencer to rule them all. Viral impossible. Sometimes it feels that way. Rachel says Star Wars Episode 4, a new platform. Forrest Bump. A very long engagement metric. Hey, Johnson. Some of these are so late, but more Jonas Brothers references. Please keep them coming in. Linked into the wild. That is terrifying, isn't it? Smarketers, Infinity War. It's so bad. So yeah, if you want some bonus points, well, not really, but it would be fun if you want to post about this after and turn yours into a movie poster with the help of AI. Tag Hootsuite, and we can make this the new action figure meme going around on on LinkedIn. So go ahead and share yours. 51st likes. Groundbreaking. We all are after those likes. Love it. So share your comments here. We're going to regroup and share a winner later, but it's not too late. Keep sharing your faves. And Savannah, I'm waiting with bated breath because I know you're going to come up with something good. All right. So keep thinking on that. We're going to wrap up with some industry news in these last few minutes. The Wall Street Journal published an article, and Dr. Kate Stewart, she was a guest on my podcast. She was actually quoted in here. There's an influencer who gained followers documenting her weight loss, and she was selling courses about macros and tracking macros and healthy eating and all these things. And then she later revealed that she was on a GLP-1, so a weight loss drug of some kind, and her followers were not happy. They thought it was inauthentic. Some are even calling her a fraud, all of these things. Legal experts are saying it's not really fraud. It might be false advertising if she made certain claims, but it just got really messy. A poster, remember? Yeah, let's make some AI movie posters. I want to see yours. Please tag me and Hootsuite, and we will look out for those in the giveaway. I hope you win. I hope you all win. We're going to do 5 of these giveaways, so there's still time. We'll have a different creative challenge next week. So my question regarding this and the question of authenticity, is it possible to be authentic without sharing everything? Where's the line? Where's the line? So she was on this weight loss drug and didn't share it. She kept that piece private. And then when she did, people were not happy. So are we ever being truly authentic if we're not showing our whole lives? I don't know. It just any thoughts on influencer authenticity and how you've come to trust influencers, and when is having privacy okay? Is authenticity even real? I'm having these kind of like existential questions about this. It's like, are we even being authentic? You're only seeing a snippet of our lives. Unless I live stream my whole life, maybe I'll do that. Rachel says a post to remember. Love it. The silence of the spam. I wish I could silence some spam. Need some spam blockers. So where is the line between authenticity and privacy? And, can influencers truly be authentic if they're keeping things private? What are our expectations? It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me move this around while you guys are thinking again. Let's go back to the orange owlie. Paige says, I think if you're preaching something, you should be authentic, but you also don't need to show every part of your life. Yeah, I think that's the distinction. And people seem to be upset that she was kind of selling this lifestyle, that she wasn't sharing the whole truth about how she's achieving that result. Brittany says, I think it comes down to, does something you're doing contribute to the thing you're saying? This other thing is why I'm benefiting. So now you're just not sure. So in short, if it directly affects it, I think, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh my God, this is the best. This is the best. Jenny, please reshare this Wall Street Journal article and make this a caption. It's like the Elwood sorority sister who secretly had lipo but was a health influencer. It's not transparent. That is where are my sparkles? Hold on. I have little sparkles that I give for like my favorite answers. That this reference too good. It is exactly like him. Although Legally Blonde came out in 2001, pre-social media. So yeah, it's just like that. This is the deepest conversation ever. It's impossible to be 100% authentic when you're only showing the highlights. Absolutely. Yep. And no one, I mean, I bet for her, it just kind of felt like that wasn't a highlight, having to admit that she didn't achieve that result without some help. Allison says, yes, you can be authentic without sharing everything, but if the thing you're censoring is central to what you're promoting, that's where trust erodes. That is so well said. Or Polly, it depends on what your message is. You can be authentic about what you are passionate about. You don't need to tell your entire life story. 27 drafts. Savannah made it. 27 drafts, the sequel of 27 dresses. This is what it feels like. Yes, I have about 27 drafts lying around. Petronella says not sharing everything is okay as long as you're not lying. In her case, not sharing little details matters. Yeah. Brooke Wyndham. Deep cut. Thank you. I couldn't remember her name, Lathan. Yes, Brooke Wyndham. The way you knew that, I know the actress is Allie Larder, but the name was not coming to me. Chris says, in my opinion, it's more about ethics than authenticity. The lens of digital media is naturally going to create filters of time and space. If authenticity is full transparency, that's just not possible when talking about online. I love that. Danielle, this is kind of bizarre. I wonder if this is about the soap thing. I wonder if this is a delayed message. 16 captions. We're going to make sure we read all of these that came through, but thank you all so much. We're coming up right at 2:00. Thank you all so much for joining. Hootsuite is going to be here again next Friday. We're going to do another giveaway. We're going to announce who won the year of the advanced plan, but seriously, thank you to Hootsuite. Thank you to Paige and Margaret and Darian and the team for helping to bring this partnership together. And speaking of transparency, I just want to say that this partnership didn't happen overnight. It was a lot of, I've said it before, it was a lot of bragging about all of you in this community. And Hootsuite saw just how special you are. And I'm so happy they're here and that you all showed up today to give them a warm welcome. And we're going to keep it going through June. So thank you all so much. Thanks to Owlie and the team, but stay tuned. We're going to let you know who won the 1 year of Hootsuite. And until then, I'll see you next Friday. Go make your movie posters. If you haven't thought of your movie idea yet, go leave a comment here or comment on my post where I shared it yesterday. And, we're gonna announce a winner later. Ferris Bueller social media break. That's perfect. I love it. Thank you, Paige. Thanks to the team, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Wait, hold on. I need to read this. I made a 27 dresses reference in a meeting the other day when pitching an idea. The stunned silence of the 30-person department was one of the biggest wins of my career. Too good. Thank you all so much. You're the best. Stay safe. Everyone have a great weekend. The kiddos are out for summer. here in Florida, so it's about to get really rowdy in the neighborhood today. I'll see you all next time. Bye.